What's up, good people? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I would like to talk to you guys about game development being more than just about making the game. In other industries, such as culinary industry or the restaurant industry, you have what you call a front of the house and a back of the house. Now, the back of the house is the main thing that's been advertised as far as I can remember. Making of the game, the development, meaning the art, the programming, the audio, game design, all that jazz. You guys remember this guy? Yeah, him? Yeah, that's back of the house promotion right there. But an equally as important aspect would be the front of the house. Some would argue that it's more important, and that's things like marketing, PR, customer relations, and that has failed by the wayside because no one talks about it. It's always about buy this software, use this engine. Unity is better than Unreal. Unreal is better than Unity. We got some new challengers over there who want to take a whack at it. And it's always about the engine, the game itself, which is important. Because overall, if your game isn't fun, then it's not a game. Well, at least that's how it is when I grew up. But yeah, no one's teaching the new generation of developers how to handle other aspects of development. Too many examples are out there where developers lashed out at the consumer base, even if it wasn't the whole base who had a problem with the game, or even for those who had constructive criticism, and the developer just didn't know how to take it and they lashed out. People have built entire YouTube careers on that kind of stuff. But overall, the way some developers, a lot in fact, the way they have handled situations in the past and even to this day are infuriating as an indie dev myself. Look, everyone isn't going to like your games, okay? So you can just stop that. No matter what game it is that you can call out, there's always a subsection of people who don't like it. Heck, popularity of a game itself is enough to ruin someone's experience, meaning that there are people who don't like certain games just for the fact that it's popular, not for the fact that it's actually bad. It's just human nature, I guess. I don't know. So as developers, we spend 3, 4, 5, sometimes people spend 6, 7, 10 years on a certain project. And throughout all that time, all you're doing is honing your developer skills, getting better at programming, getting better at art, learning how to play a new instrument, how to use a new software. All the while, you're limiting your experience or your interaction with people throughout that whole time, especially if you're like an introvert to begin with. Now your game is done after 5 years, and now you have to present it to a community, a fan base, or build a fan base, or build a community, and you have no idea how to do that. You just pluck your game up on Steam and hope for the best, and then when it's not received well, you feel that you're talked about or your game is being shamed or being torn apart, you lash out, and you wind up becoming a meme. So think of it like this. You as a developer, you have your game. You have your vision for your game. To you, it's the Mona Lisa. It's the best action shooter out right now. Now hold that. You should feel good about your game, because if you don't feel good about it, 9 times out of 10, other people are not going to feel good about it. But check it. You then have to garner the feelings of the consumer who is buying your game. So if your feeling about the game is 100%, and let's say consumer 1, 2, and 3 have a feeling of 85%. Maybe they don't like the combat. Maybe the dialogue is kind of iffy. Maybe the gameplay is fun, but it's lagging. Then that 100% that you have needs to come down and meet them halfway to 90 so that you can fix the problems or meet them halfway and let them know how you can rectify the problem. Listen to their ideas as far as what can be done better. If it doesn't fit your vision for the game, then politely let them know that. On the flip side of that, if what they suggest is doable within your manpower and it doesn't subtract from your vision of the game, then appease your customer because they paid for your product. They are interested in the world that you're trying to build. You want to keep them around for your future projects. I know sometimes the gaming community can be rough and maybe a little extra. Some might say they are hateful, toxic, entitled, but you see, what a lot of folks don't expand on is that is a subset of the community, and they're the loudest bunch usually, and that doesn't encompass the whole community. But I get it. Sometimes you get upset. Sometimes someone said something real crazy, and I'm not saying to let anyone, whether they paid money to you or not, to disrespect you or to call you out your name or whatnot. But since you are the developer, you are selling a product, it's a certain way you go about checking someone or explaining the situation or rectifying the situation or wherever the case. So keep in mind that while we love to work in the back of the house, while we love to make the game, there's still a front of the house that we have to take care of. A lot of people say that the indie scene is what's going to quote unquote save the gaming industry. But we cannot do that if we're getting in as much trouble as AAA developers, if we're letting nonsense put us into the headlines the same way it's doing for AAA developers. At this point, the only saving grace is going to be mobile games. Oh, God. Get your act together, please. My God.